Hi, yeah, I'm Christina, author of Messy Tired Love. If this is your first time joining a mom talk, my Messy Tired Love is essentially devotionals that aim to connect everyday mom moments with the truth of the gospel. And that's kind of the inspiration for this mom talk as well, is just that there's so many real life challenges and also joys that we go through, but we don't really talk about them a lot, especially with gospel lens. So that's kind of where the idea for these mom talks came from. So far, this is our third one. So far, we have had one on being intentional and setting goals for yourself as a Christian woman and a Christian mom. And then the second one was about hospitality. And now this one is about gratitude, which is just obviously super good timing because Thanksgiving's on Thursday. And if you've been following along on social media with me, we've been doing the Grateful Mama Challenge. And it's been a challenge for me. And funny enough, the challenge is such a buzzword on social media, but it was, kind of difficult just to get in and stay in the mindset of practicing gratitude, which we'll talk a little bit more later. So I wanted to just start out with saying, why are we grateful today? I actually didn't post a Grateful Mama challenge today because we were doing this. So I am a grateful mama today because I have friends and other moms that I can talk to and be in community with that are going through the same things as me. And that's really, really awesome. And that's one of the goals too that I have for this mom talk, that it will eventually be, I hope it is now, but eventually grow to where there's a lot of women participating either live or watching after the fact, that, we can all just come together and follow Christ together and be intentional in parenting as Christian moms. And also, you can probably hear my children in the background. My husband is with them. So if you hear random screams or cries, they're being taken care of by wonderful husband. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest, Katie, from My Joy in Chaos. So Katie, do you want to introduce yourself and then also tell us why you are a grateful mama today?
Absolutely. All right. So my name is Katie and I blog over at My Joy in Chaos. It started because I had several friends actually come over to my house for a meeting one day, and with 5 kids. And at that point I had, I think, 5-month-old twin boys plus 3 others. And my house is just, it's 5 kids. And after the meeting was over, she just looked at me and she said, "Thank you for being real. You didn't have this amazingly perfect Pinterest house or try and make it that. You were real, and you didn't care that there were stains on your carpet or shoes spilling out of your closet. You were a real mom to us. Thank you." And I realized that that's what I am. And that's what I want moms to be okay with, that our lives are chaotic and there's so many things that are going on, but we can be okay with it and we can be honest about it and we can still find joy in it. And that's what drives me, is finding the good and the joy and those little moments that make you go, "Oh, okay, I can do this." So what makes me a grateful mama today is I live up in the northern Midwest. So by this time of year, it's usually getting pretty cold. And today it was actually 50. So we went outside and we colored with chalk. And compared to the 15 or 20 degree days we were having last week, this was so nice. So definitely a grateful mama today for that.
That's awesome. I actually moved to San Diego almost 2 years ago now. And San Diego is springtime all the time. And I'm from Ohio, and that's where I lived my whole life. And, so all my friends are sending pictures to me of them in their coats, and I'm still sweating, I go outside and I walk to the playground and I'm sweating. So that's definitely something to be grateful for sure. I see that a couple of people joined us live. If you want to participate, we would love that. There's a live chat below the video feed. Feel free to ask questions, and then you can also tell us why you're a grateful mama today. That'd be really awesome. Katie, I wanted to say too, thanks for sharing your inspiration about your blog. I think that's something that I can really relate to you on. And that's something with the hospitality episode last week or last month that we talked about too, is everyone assumes or thinks like, oh, I don't have this magazine cover living room to invite people over to, so I can't invite people over. Or, almost being like embarrassed or ashamed, or like you have to apologize for the state of your home.
Yeah.
And that's not a mindset that we should have. And I don't think Jesus wants us to have that mindset either, because it, like you were saying, it's not real.
No.
So yeah. Okay. Let's see. You have a grateful challenge yourself, or a gratitude challenge yourself that you are doing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I don't even know how it started really, but I'm a part of MOPS. If anyone knows what that is, it's Mothers of Preschoolers. And part of our packet this year was this planner. And in it, it had a calendar that said, "The days matter, a simple way to record one special moment that happens each day." And it's just had blank calendars. So I started filling it out, and I was writing, some of the days were the most minor things, like rain. Like it rained and I liked watching the rainfall. Or I taught my big boys how to play Mall Madness. Like, that was hilarious, watching them try and get the best deals at their stores. But as I did it, I realized how much better my outlook was on motherhood when I was intentionally focusing on those good moments, rather than at the end of the day just being like, So that's actually how I start my day every morning. Is I look back at the previous day, because if I do try and do it at the end of the day, sometimes I am still going, ugh. But in the morning, I'm able to look back and go, what was the best moment from yesterday? So I wanted to inspire other moms to do the same. So I created the gratitude challenge. And it's just 5 days, really simple, easy to do. I included lots of printables with it, for people to print off some verses. And you just get a little simple email each morning or each day on it, depending on when you signed up. And I've gotten some great feedback from it. And I'm so happy that I listened to that little God voice saying, you need to tell other moms to do this.
Yeah. That's how I came to invite you to chat with me right now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you did it too. Cool. So is it too late for people to sign up? I know it's close to Thanksgiving.
Absolutely not. No, I had thought about trying to do it as a specific time frame. And then I thought, that's silly, because we need to be grateful all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So while the printables, the color scheme on them might be more fall oriented with browns and greens and oranges, it's going to apply all the time. So absolutely, I'm leaving it up forever for people to sign up.
Cool. And how do people sign up for it if they would like to?
Just go to myjoyandchaos.com and you'll hit the cover page, and it'll be right there, little button that says, I want a challenge.
Cool. Awesome. And I'll drop a link in, I think actually on the landing page on my blog on messytiredlove.com, your link, your post is in there. If it's not, I will add it so that people can have it too. But one of the things that I really appreciated about your challenge, because I did sign up for your challenge and I really enjoyed it, was that you had, like, the Bible was like the main focus, and then you had super, super practical ways that you can practice gratitude. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing maybe just one small thing about what the Bible says about gratitude, and kind of how we can switch our perspective to being, like you were saying, gratitude is really hard when at the end of the day you've just had a really bad day, and it's like, oh my gosh, I just want to eat a pint of ice cream and like binge on Netflix. So what does the Bible say about gratitude, and then why is it so important?
Oh, what doesn't the Bible say about gratitude? I think one of the most common verses that people use is First Thessalonians 5:6-18, which is rejoice always, pray continuously, and give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. And all circumstances. So, like you wrote in your post, poopy diapers and spilled milk, all that stuff. Like, we still need to find a way to be thankful. I remember one of the first posts I ever wrote was, I'm very klutzy, and I was pulling a big, like Sam's Club size canister of garlic powder out of my cupboard, and I dropped it because I'm a klutz, and I get garlic powder all over the floor, like just everywhere. And it's not like the granulated garlic that's easy to sweep up. It's the powder that just like clings to everything. And I'm like, I moved my feet and there were perfect footprints where it had spilled. Like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Like, I wasted all that garlic powder and my house smells like garlic, and but then I swept and I was like, you know what? I needed to sweep my floor and now it's swept. That's a good thing. And so it's hard, but it's that perspective shift of how can I give thanks in this moment when there's a poopy diaper. How can I give thanks? And it sounds so superficial sometimes to be like, oh, well, thank you that I have clean diapers. But you know what? Thank you that I have clean diapers, because how many stories do you hear of these people who are rinsing out diapers to reuse them, or putting trash bags on their kids because they don't? So thank you that I have clean diapers. And I've found that gratitude and contentment and joy, it's a cycle that all work together. Because when I express gratitude, I'm more content with what I actually have versus what I may want. And then that contentment reminds me of the joy I have, which then leads to more gratitude. And it's just continual.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I wanted to share a verse that goes along exactly with what you're talking about. And it's in my post too. It's Philippians 4:4-7. And when the Apostle Paul wrote this, and when he wrote this, he was in prison. It says, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything. That's really hard. But in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And I won't go through like my whole devotional on that I wrote, because you can go and read it. But this is such a hard verse, because the in every situation with thanksgiving,
Yes.
that's really hard. And if you have been following the Messy Tired Love Grateful Mama Challenge, I don't even remember which day, but a few days ago I posted about laundry. And that inspiration of being grateful for laundry came from, I should look it back up because I don't even remember the blogger who wrote the article. But her husband died young, like it wasn't expected. He died. And when she came home from the funeral, there was a laundry she had to do that was his clothes. And she said that that was like the hardest load of laundry she's ever had to do in her life. And she went on to get remarried, and she says now when she's doing the laundry for her new husband, it's like a joy to do another man, like a man's laundry, because that means that she has a husband. And so what I shared is I had a ton of, I did like 8 loads of laundry, and I was just thinking about that post and thinking, like, you know what, if I didn't have that much or this much laundry to do, that would mean I wouldn't have my baby girl, my baby boy, my husband, and so just so grateful that like I have people in my life that dirty laundry and they need me to do it,
Yes.
and it is hard, especially when you have those bad days. But I think that's the heart of the verse in Philippians, and then the Thessalonians verse that you mentioned is, that just gospel centered, the love of God and the love for people that he wants to instill in us. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my big like aha while doing this challenge. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit too about the difference between like, oh, I'm grateful that I have clothes on my back and food on the table, because I feel like those are things to be grateful for, but that's also something like you can just say and then like not actually be grateful. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the practicing gratitude that we've already mentioned a couple times, and like being intentional. Like what's the difference between just saying you're grateful and then having that true heart penetrating gratitude?
Oh man. I think the difference is when it does get tough, that's still your attitude. That when the cupboards are starting to get bare and the checkbook is also empty, that you're still grateful that, oh, hey, I've got some rice and this tomato sauce and a couple seasonings. I can make Spanish rice tonight, and that's what we're going to eat. Or like right now, oh, Nelly, we've been dealing with fleas.
Oh,
Our cat ran, yeah, our cat ran away, and when she came back, she brought fleas. So our dog has them, and the cat has them, and the house has them. And trying to find things to be grateful for when I'm washing like 6 loads of laundry a day to try and get all the bedding done and everything. I vacuum like multiple times a day. I've shampooed my carpets multiple times. But I'm thankful for Amazon Prime that it could send me things to work on this mess.
yeah.
I'm thankful that it's getting colder out so I can actually put the bags of stuff that I'm washing into garbage bags and out into the garage, and it can freeze versus trying to figure and hopefully kill them that way. And then that way the fleas, if there are any outside, since that's where she got them, they're dying because it's too cold for them to survive outside. So like, it's so hard and it's so frustrating and I want to burn my house down sometimes, but I'm so thankful for things that are going through it. And now I've been able to help other people because they're like, oh, hey, I saw your post on Instagram that you're dealing with fleas. What are you using? And I'm like, well, this didn't work, but this seems to be working. And so I think the difference is definitely those challenging times, if you can keep that attitude versus instantly falling into the woe is me, and or starting to flip that when things are going really well, forgetting and taking it upon ourselves as, oh, look what I've done versus thank you, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both of those are like amazing. For me, it's in when you're in those situations, because I've totally dealt with the flea situation before. Yeah, I've grown up with pets in my house my whole life, and they're pretty awful. You do tend to navigate towards the negative, and even when people ask you how you're doing, like instantly going to the, oh my gosh, you will not believe what I'm dealing with right now, and then instead, I live in an era where Amazon Prime is a thing, and I can get the pesticide or whatever, like sent to my house immediately. And yeah, that's really good. And I also love what you said about not forgetting to thank the Lord for those things, and like to see how he's answered prayers, even if they were in the way that you wanted him to answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing that I've actually gotten out of the habit of, and I really need to get back in the habit, is journaling, so that I can keep a record of answered prayers, prayer requests and answered prayers. Yes. Because it's really easy to forget if you don't write it down and, just remind yourself to go back and see what he's done. So that's really, really good suggestion. And it actually goes right into my next question is how can we practically, as really busy moms with chaotic lives, practice gratitude? Do you have any tips or suggestions?
My biggest one is journal. Like I said, I use a planner. It's just a monthly planner. and writing down that moment, or, grab your smartphone and Google Calendar or whatever you use, write down a moment each day. While you're doing those mundane tasks, hey, I'm sweeping. Thank you for these Cheerios you provided with that ended up on the floor. Like, I mean, it seems so cliche. They tell you, well, as you're folding the clothes, thank you. But like you said in that story, like, she was so grateful to have a husband to do laundry for again. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I dealt with the mountain of laundry today. I had 6 baskets that the kids were sorting. But thank you for these 5 kids that can sort 6 baskets of laundry for me with
Yeah.
quite a bit of redirection.
Yeah. It's funny, chores always take longer when the kids help
Oh,
you,
so
but
much longer.
the outcome, like the long-term outcome of them learning the skill is what I have to keep reminding myself
Yes.
of, the like thing to be grateful for is that eventually they'll be able to do it themselves. So cool. And I also wanted to mention that you also have really good practical tips in your gratitude challenge. So if anyone signs up for her gratitude challenge, in your inbox, you will get the Bible verse and then like a quick little devotional about that and how it relates to gratitude in your life. And then really, really practical like things that you can do and things that won't take up like a ton of time or money. So I really, really enjoyed your challenge, Katie. Thanks for putting it
Thank you.
together and sharing it. So the kind of the last two before we wrap up here is I wanted to ask you, with the holidays coming up, especially, which can be very challenging in terms of logistics of putting together whatever it is, whether it's you're hosting the family get together or you're trying to cook all the food or wrapping presents, buying presents, expectations on family members that you have, or maybe they have on you. Who knows? Um, Are there any specific things that we can do? I mean, we've kind of already talked about it, but like specifically with the holidays coming up, do you have any suggestions of ways to practice gratitude or even to like prepare your mind to be in a grateful mindset because knowing you're going to go into the battlefield that is a family reunion or something?
Yeah. First off, pray. If there's strained relationships, just pray for guard on your mouth, and that you would be speaking as Jesus, not as this human person with all these emotions that can get in the way, but being the hands and feet of Jesus to those around us. Other ways, we've done the thankful tree with like construction paper on the wall where we've done the
Yeah.
leaves. We didn't do one this year, but we've done that in the past. Adopting a family or a kid who might not have as much, and really getting your kids involved to go along with you and pick out the gifts and help teach them a practical way to give back so that they realize how thankful they are because they do have family that can buy for them and they have the means to put food on the table for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And or even if your kids are old enough, going and volunteering at the food shelter or at a soup kitchen or something and serving, and realizing just how blessed those of us who can do it in our homes are. And also with family and stuff, I'm very thankful that we have awesome relationships with our families, but I know lots of people don't. And so perhaps lowering the level that you expect for perfection, you can't control the other people. So going in and just letting it be what it is,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. One thing that I was thinking about and I'm planning on doing for Thanksgiving and for Christmas actually is asking the question, what are you grateful for, to everyone that is around the dinner table or in the living room opening presents. And I know that's so cheesy, and like a lot of the people in my family I know will grumble about it and be like, oh, why are you making me do this? But to be perfectly honest, I mean, if there is strain in relationships, or if somebody's just having a bad day, or maybe if somebody's feeling like just in a bad spot in life, if you are sharing what you're grateful for, it can have a really big impact on them.
Absolutely.
And prime example today, we did our little homeschool group with some friends, and we did like the little thankful tree where the kids made a leaf and then they wrote what they're thankful for. And my friend asked my son, what are you thankful for? And he just immediately went off and he was like, I am thankful for my mommy because I love her so much and she's so nice and she plays games with me, so I like playing with her. And he just went on and on. And he's 3, which means his behavior is challenging sometimes. He's got that little independent like will of his own.
Yes.
So it's been a pretty hard like month, I would say, just trying to figure out like discipline and all that stuff. And to hear him say that, my heart just melted, and it just makes everything so worth it. And so I would definitely suggest, ask your kids, like, do the cheesy thing, go around, like, let everyone listen. What are you grateful for? And then do it with your extended family too. Ask your parents, ask your siblings, your cousins, like, just do it. And if it fails miserably this year, you don't have to do it next year. It's not going to hurt anything. So that would be my suggestion of things to help, just because it's helped me a little bit. So
yeah, definitely. And one of the things you said, they see you being grateful even if things are chaotic around you. Like, that's so part of my message is my life is chaos. I've got 5 kids between 3 and 9. Like,
yeah,
it's insane. But if I can express how thankful I am for this life and the good parts of it, instead of getting on social media all the time and grumbling that this happened or that happened and I'm so upset about this, what kind of testimony is that to a life in Christ if all I'm doing is complaining about it?
yeah, for sure. And I think that is one thing too that a lot of people miss in trying to reflect Jesus. Jesus didn't grumble or complain, or he is the ultimate example of how we should be in life. But
Yes.
for sure how we should be mothering, because we have little people looking up to us and they see everything that we're doing every second.
Yeah. Even when we don't want them to.
Right. Cool. Well, we are at the end of our half an hour. Thank you so much, Katie, for joining me. I'm really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm looking forward to following you as well. And one thing to the audience, especially for those that are watching this later, we would love for you to set specific goals on how to practice gratitude in your life. Specifically as a mother, I think that it's a good thing, but just in general, even if you work outside the home with your husband, with your extended family, with your whatever your life situation is, set goals for how you can practice gratitude. A really good way to do that is signing up for Katie's gratitude challenge. And that's awesome that you're leaving it open even after Thanksgiving. That's a great idea. So set those goals and then share them with us. You can comment on the landing page, the blog post on messytiredlove.com. You can also just tag either Messy Tired Love or My Joy in Chaos on Facebook or Instagram. We're on all the social media platforms. So tag us, message us, comment on our posts. We would love to hear from you. And I hope that everyone has an awesome Thanksgiving. Katie, did you have anything else you wanted to say before we close out?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. One thing I did think of, another practical way, if you don't want to pull out a journal or write on your smartphone or something, dry erase markers on a mirror, or I even learned my microwave. Um,
Oh, nice.
just scribble on it and it wipes right off. So,
That's an
you
awesome
know,
idea.
yeah, write something you're thankful for. I mean, can you imagine like every day for a month writing on your mirror something you're thankful for? By the end, you shouldn't be able to see the mirror anymore.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That'd be make for an awesome like representation of, you know, your growth in that area and like
Yeah,
practicing gratitude. I think I might do that. Thanks for the idea. That's really cool.
it just popped in my head. So now I think I need to do it too. So,
Nice. Yeah,
challenge
okay.
for both
Well,
of us.
yeah, let's both do it and then we can share pictures later.
Fabulous.
Although I don't really know if you want to see my bathroom, but
Oh, yeah.
all right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Phoebe. Sign up for her gratitude challenge. It's awesome. myjoyandchaos.com. It's .com, right?
Yep.
Okay, myjoyandchaos.com. You can sign up there, and hopefully you can make our next mom talk, which will not happen in December. I decided to not do one because I'm going to be traveling so much. I didn't want to make it crazy for myself. So we are picking back up in January. And the guest speaker she writes for a Curvy Christianity. So it's all going to be about self-image and how as Christian women we should be like that, just have a self-image of ourselves, what that looks like. So I'm really excited about it. It'll be a great New Year's
That sounds
episode.
great.
All right. So thanks, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry
Woo.
Christmas. And we will talk to you in January.